The Federal Reserve kicks off its two-day meeting in Washington this week, with traders dialing back rate cut bets following the latest jobs report, which did top expectations. The meeting comes after President Trump renewed his calls for Powell to cut rates in an interview with NBC over the weekend. Here to discuss, we've got Jeffrey Roach, LPL Financial Chief Economist. Great to have you here with us. And ultimately, as the Fed is going to have its May meeting this week, do you anticipate there's anything that they would see in the data to actually signal that we could start to see some of those rate cuts be talked about at this juncture?
Well, thanks for having me on, Brad and Madison. I think what's going to happen here is it's going to be somewhat of a boring meeting this week. I think what they're going to probably do is use their speeches. They're going to be literally all over the world. The various policymakers will be giving speeches both in Europe, domestically, and they'll use those speeches to prepare markets to expect the first cut to come in June. So no change, obviously, this week. Inflation is still nagging, although we certainly saw some positive moves in what they call the super core. So core services, housing. That certainly is moving in the right direction. I think we'll see three cuts: a quarter cut in June, and then October, December.
Help me understand the state of the labor market right now, since you bring up some of the numbers that we got in the jobs report. Some of the uptick that we saw for things like warehousing, those were temporary roles that could potentially be part of a pull forward dynamic ahead of any negative impact of the trade war. To what extent do you think that there's a discounting right now of a broader potential weakness in the labor market to come?
Well, I think last Friday's report was probably a little bit misleading. So remember, and I'll address the temporary workers, but also a hot topic is on the federal side. So any federal worker that's getting paid severance or taking an early pay cut, or early leave, they're still on that payroll. So we're probably going to see some impacts from the DOGE cuts in upcoming reports.